we invite you to be part of something bigger. Support Viva Magazine Live and make history with us. Support the vision and invest in our community. Hola, Houston. I'm Blanca Blanco, host of Viva Magazine Live. And this is the place where we celebrate the movers, the shakers, and the trailblazers of our vibrant Latino community. And today on Viva Magazine Live, we have a very special guest, someone who has dedicated his entire life for justice, equality, and giving back to our community for making our voices stronger. I am talking none other than Mr. Johnny Mata. For years, Johnny Mata has been a tireless advocate and standing up for our Latino community and making sure our stories and our struggles are never ignored. So stay tuned. We're going to hear a word from our generous sponsor, Commissioner Adrian Garcia, and we'll be right back to hear what Johnny Mata has to say. Don't go away. Welcome back to Viva Magazine Live, and today we're excited to sit with Johnny Mata, Chairman of the Board of the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice. And he is a longtime advocate for civil rights and a true champion of the Latino community in Houston and many others. So let's hear about this journey and the impact that he's made right here in Houston and beyond. Welcome, Johnny. I'm so glad to have you.
Well, thank you, and for asking me to be on the show.
Yes, absolutely. Johnny, I've known you since I've been 21 years old. Do you realize that?
Yes.
That was a long time ago.
Right.
Right, it has. And I want the viewing audience to know, Viva Magazine Live, that Johnny Mata graced the covers of Viva Magazine. And please run that cover of Viva Magazine of Johnny Mata. That was many years ago, back in the 90s. And Johnny, that was, you were fighting the fight back then for Latinos and others, and you're still fighting. So tell me something, Johnny. What inspires you to become involved in civil rights activism in Houston for Latino community and many other minorities in Houston?
Well, you know, I was born in 1937, and I was not only for Latinos, but I was born by Rosenberg.
Yes.
With my parents. And I saw some detainees, Japanese, in the Rosenberg fairground. And I asked why. That was during the war.
Yes.
And then I saw many of the injustice in police brutality cases, education. And so even then, as I was moving up the ladder in school, I remember that one of my cousins was with her friend, and they stopped at a drugstore, and her friend was light complexion. She was Hispanic.
Yeah.
And they told her, we can serve you, but we can't serve her.
In Rosenberg, Texas.
Yes. And I was raised in Horton County, but I was raised in Houston, and I went to school and all of those things. So throughout the years, there was discrimination in schools.
Yes.
And so then I became involved. I worked for the Community Action Programs for 32 years.
Yes.
And I was an EEO officer, I was training manager. At the end, I was in charge of the community service department. But I saw the struggle, particularly people of color.
Yes.
And especially for Hispanics, in many of these areas of education, health and human service, and the criminal justice system.
Yes. Well, you mentioned your early activism in the 1970s, and there were, I'm sure you have many pivotal moments that you can share that helped shape your mission for justice, Johnny. What were they? I know that you showed me earlier some newspaper articles where you really made an impact. It was in Rosenberg, Texas.
Not only in Rosenberg there was families lived in Little Mexico.
Yes.
And their street was paved asphalt, and the Anglo community was street concrete. And they would have to walk from the highway to their houses.
Yes.
And I was called in as a district director at the time.
For LULAC?
Yes, and I filed a complaint with the federal government, and eventually it was determined that they had been discriminated and they had to resurface the streets, as well as there was a gate built in the Heights. And it was a mixed group called me, Anglos, Hispanics, and others. And we filed against that, called it discrimination against the city of Houston. And the federal government ruled that they too had been discriminated.
Yes.
There's many other cases that have happened. The sad part about it is that history has repeated itself various times.
Right.
And now we're in a situation of democracy is at stake. People need to wake up and smell the coffee and start registering to vote, and because the future is not bright for many.
Now, I know that you were really involved in police brutality cases. That, well, of course, it has evolved over the decades, especially reflecting on the Joe Campos Torres case. Can you tell me a little bit about it? How did that all come about? Obviously, the police brutality issue.
We made inroads, and not only in legislative law. And after the Torres case, Judon Boney and I shared the Hispanic caucus, and he chaired the Black, and we met with police chiefs from throughout this area.
Right.
At one point, we became the police chiefs and us on first-term basis, and we talked about internal affairs. We talked about what could keep their community not only safe,
yes,
but accountable to the community. Unfortunately, not only that, the Jose Campos Torres case, there's a park named after him.
Right.
We had met with the police departments, and the grand jury at the time was very questionable. A lot of people, law officers, the bad cops that went before the grand jury were set free.
Right.
So through the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice, we changed the system in Harris County, legislative-wise. And it wasn't just Hispanics and Blacks.
Yeah.
We even took some Anglo communities that were effective also.
Right, exactly.
So the inroads have
Civil
been
rights
made.
affects everybody,
Right.
not just...
And it's through the efforts of coalescing with different groups, we were able to bring that to the attention of legislators and others.
Yes, of course. So, getting back to what we were talking about just a while ago, what is the current state of civil rights for Latinos or Hispanics in Houston, or people of color? And what are the biggest challenges they face today, Johnny? You kind of touched on it a while ago.
Well, right now, our forefathers in LULAC and NAACP and other groups are turning in their grave.
Yes.
because the 1964 Civil Rights Act had the Voting Rights Act, the Employment Civil Rights and the Equal Employment Commission, Health and Human Service, Education, and they're now being rolled back.
Yeah.
Not only the administration, the people in charge are now changing the process, the procedures, and the expectations that we have is that the only way that that's going to change is that the community needs to wake up and smell the coffee.
That's right.
And I'm not just talking about the communities of color, but everyone. Because I had cases where Anglos had been discriminated in many areas, and we fought for them and restored their rights. But now, it doesn't matter what color you are.
Yeah.
I think that the only way we're going to change the system or the rollback is for voter registration. And by that I mean that voter registration now needs to begin at home.
Yes.
Take those that are not registered, take them to register, and those that cannot go vote, take them to the polls.
Right.
Now, the Voting Rights Act is in jeopardy, and the courts have ruled favorably on some cases, but when it gets to the Supreme Court, they have not been very supportive of those rights.
Right.
So people that are watching, that have depended on persons like myself and others that have sacrificed so much,
Yes.
need to say they have a responsibility.
Yes.
Because it's not going to be enough for the organizations. A lot of the civil rights organizations are being threatened, intimidated, investigated, and
Underfunded. The funds are
and the
getting.
fundings are drying out. If you have a parent or a child that state aid for dependent children, people with disabilities that are no longer being able to receive those services,
That's right.
you should be concerned. You should be at the polls, and you should change things around, because it's not going to be a few. And it's not just going to be minorities. It's going to be the community at large
That's right.
that's going to save democracy in this country.
That's right. And that means that every single person that can vote needs to get out and vote, like as soon as possible, get themselves registered to vote. Because, Johnny, I don't know, and I'm struggling to find the solution, but that sounds to me like that's the only solution. We have lawsuits all over the place. I mean, we can file, as you know, all the lawyers can file the lawsuits, but if we, as the community, black, white, people of color, it doesn't matter your color. If you don't get out and vote, we may not have a democracy. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct. We're starting to see like a police state. The police in Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and now they're going to Chicago. But you see, the Fifth Circuit, some of the courts have ruled that's declaring war powers, and we're not at war.
Right.
I'm not a lawyer. I've know a lot of these things because of the training and extensive experience. But we have to be alert and challenge every system.
Right.
You have to go to your legislators and saying, you're not doing your job. I don't care whether you're a Republican, Democrat, or independent.
Right.
Because they're the ones that can turn things around in the future. And it's going to be up to the community that not only are registered, but to register others to keep democracy
Right.
in place. See, what has happened is that sometimes we reach a place that we're very comfortable.
Right.
Economically, and educational, health. But now The economy is going down the drain.
Right.
Labor Day, I felt real bad for a lot of people that lost their jobs.
Yes.
I'm not talking about 100, maybe 150. I know a major chain, grocery chain, over 100 drivers and mechanics were laid off.
Yeah.
And we could go, and I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
The Veterans Administration has had a lot of funds cut.
Yeah.
I have medical conditions, and I go to the VA sometimes 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
And what I see is deplorable and painful. I know people that are listening at home are affected.
Yes.
Not only are they affecting their food costs and everything else,
Yes.
but it's their loved ones.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
They're,
the future of tomorrow, the younger generation, if you're eligible to vote,
yes.
think about the parents and the others that are suffering.
That's right.
And you got to pick up the banner and carry forward
Yes.
the American flag and democracy.
That's right. So, Johnny, we're going to take a short break here to hear a word from our generous sponsor, Houston Community College. Don't go away. We'll be right back to hear the champion of the Latino community and others, Mr. Johnny Mata. We'll be right back.
Learning looks like this, and it also looks like...
I didn't just study buildings. I connected them with tech to make them smarter.
I'm learning healthcare management while providing patient care.
I worked with these control systems way before I even started the job.
And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online. So, where do you start?
And welcome back to Viva Magazine Live. I'm your host, Blanca Blanco, and we're here speaking with Mr. Johnny Mata. He is the chairman of the board of the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice. Johnny, we want to get back to the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice. What do you believe is making the most impact, and what are your key initiatives to do that?
I think the fact is that when you bring together different organizations, national, state, and local,
Yes.
that have gone through the trenches, that their predecessors have paved the road for those that are in office now, that have a full understanding of the human rights, civil rights, and whether it's education and all these issues.
Right.
That numbers is a strength.
Right.
I'm very pleased that we have reached at sometimes 25 civil rights groups. It goes down, it moves back. But now we have people that are knocking on the door that want to either come back or belong. And the thing is that we have, as members and in key committees, immigration, health, human service, whatever, people with PhDs,
Yes.
lawyers, and others that have come forth and made a remarkable job. There's been a lot of changes in all the way from the grand jury to other key questions. We've had key cases like the Sandra Blair case, the other cases that made some changes on that.
Right.
Unfortunately, on the case of police brutality, we now have the question of, for example, this legislation. I haven't read the whole case, but the police officers now will have some of their cases sealed in regards to
Yes.
that poses a question. So our challenges are greater now than they've been when we begun.
Right.
The good thing about it is that we now even have parents in the coalition, but some of the younger generation coming in, and the younger generation having the energy,
Yes.
the talent, and the background and education
That's
to
right.
carry on what we're doing.
That was going to be my very next question. How do you nurture the next generation of Latino leaders and other leaders and encourage them to get involved in local government and civic life? How do you do that, Johnny? Because, you know, we have a new generation of young leaders that we really want to encourage to be a part of the community, get involved. And how do you and LULAC and the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice do that?
I was at a NAACP redistricting town hall meeting. I was a panelist, and there were two young Afro-American students that were so enthusiastic that we said, "Come on in." One young lady got 9 scholarships. She's going to.
Wow.
So as they come out of the universities, they get jobs and what have you.
Right.
They're coming in, and what we're asking for a lot of them, irregardless, to serve on the standing committees,
Right.
so that they can get the training and the knowledge, and then from there, their exposure will not only the rewards will come, that they'll be ready for their next career step.
Johnny, let me ask you a question here. Can you share with us and the viewing audience of Viva Magazine Live a meaningful achievement from your time as Houston's LULAC leader? You were the face of LULAC for many years.
Well, I think that in many cases that we had, like street paving in Rosenberg,
Yes.
other cases, in the Jose Campos Torres case, I walk into not only the VA,
Yes.
and I get stopped by a lot of people, and a lot of people ask, how can I get involved?
Yes.
And I think that not only is very meaningful, but the fact is that the leadership, the younger generation that come forward, they also need to understand you don't become a leader overnight.
No. No, it
The
takes a lot of work.
Sacrifices are meaningful. You can also be in the poorhouse and still do it.
Yeah.
And but you got to establish credibility. And when there's an incident on police brutality or anything like that, you got to make sure that you do your homework,
That's right.
because you don't want an innocent person to be incarcerated, and irregardless, and you cannot hate,
Yeah.
because we have a lot of that already.
Yeah. That's true. That's true, Johnny. So, Johnny, let's go to your personal journey. You've survived considerable health challenges. We know that. But you continue to fight for justice. What motivates you and what keeps you going? Because we know, the community knows the challenges that you've gone through.
Well, it's not easy, but I don't think I'm the only one. I see a lot of people coming out of the woodworks, and the challenge is so great now
Yes.
that you gotta ask for not only the strength, your health, and the courage, but to be able to do that, you're doing the right thing for the right reason. And for those people that are out there listening, is you too
Yeah.
need to be involved, and it's going to take more than one person and more than one organization to do what needs to, because the harm and the damage is done.
Yes.
And it's going to take a while to get Humpty Dumpty back together again.
That's right.
But I think if we have the strength, the faith, and the motivation that we can do it, it can be done. And I'm not just talking about Democrats, independents, Republicans as well,
That's right.
because we know I have worked with all parties to achieve some of the things that we've done.
Yes.
It's just that there are some that have been either hungry for power and
Or for money.
are doing the wrong thing for the wrong reason. It shows that the budget cuts go to the rich
Yes.
and the others are suffering, but we can turn it around.
Right. It just takes a lot of strength and commitment, Johnny.
Yes.
And you are motivated to keep going even though you have your health challenges, and that is something that many people just can't do.
They'll come around.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, because I know that you grew up in the Second Ward and as a son of a Mexican immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that shapes your perspective and your drive,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes.
So how was that?
My father crossed the border at age 2 in the mother's arm and father's arm. My responsibility, my mother died when I was real young. I remember there was a hurricane and she died that night. And he did, we had 11 in our family. I was the last one.
Big family.
And then I saw him with lack of education, struggling at a late stage, work with him. He became national citizen. And so all of those things that you saw, you see today.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the people that are picking up the crops and all of those things
Yes.
are not appreciated. So those are the things that give you the incentive to move forward.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree with you. You have to see that and the struggles that they go through for you to appreciate what they've accomplished and understand it. So looking forward, Johnny, what gives you hope for the future of civil rights and inclusion in Houston and beyond? What gives you that hope?
Well, the challenges of the decisions that are being made are going to be expensive, are going to take hard work, take good lawyers, and it's going to take time.
Yeah.
The most important thing to turn things around is what I started in the initial phase: voter registration, voter participation, and keeping legislators' honesty.
Yeah.
And corruption is in many places.
Yeah.
But greed for power is never going to go away.
Yeah.
The thing now is saving democracy, restoring what we lost,
Right.
and it's going to be a struggle. And the only way you can do that is to continue going and getting many people involved.
Johnny, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your incredible journey. We don't want you to ever leave us because you are such a powerhouse in our community.
Thank you.
Your dedication and passion continue to make such a big difference to all of us. And to all of you watching, thank you for being a part of Viva Magazine Live. We'll see you next time with more stories that celebrate our community during this Hispanic Heritage Month. So stay tuned. Coming up next on Viva Magazine Live, more voices, more stories, and more inspiration from our community. Follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to Viva Magazine Live on YouTube. Hasta luego, Houston.